All right, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rukakadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and the few sisters out there. Onto this like foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in Hebrew. Which means peace on quick show through the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. As you know, it should be public news by now. Supreme Court rules on Biden's vaccine, you know what. So, now the companies that have over 100 people, they don't have to have their employees to get you know what, which brings in more confusion because the simple fact is now the White House is saying basically it's up to the companies how they want to do what they want to do. So there's more confusion. I'm gonna read some of this, but the main thing I wanted to bring out was the video actually. It says the U.S. Supreme Court has stayed on enforcement of Biden administration's, C-19 jab requirements for businesses with 100 or more employees, and rolled out as OSHA, Occupational Safety Health Administration. 6-3 decision was announced Thursday with liberal-leaning Justice Breyer and Kagan and Sotomayor. The sentence, it says, announced by President Joe Biden in September, but not finalized until 2 months later. The mandate would have required business to ensure the employees were, jabbed up or get tested weekly at their own expense, applied to roughly 84 million American workers, overrode any state's laws to contrite. All right, so read this. This is not the point I wanted to get. So now check this out. All right, so this is the same thing.
Supreme Court has delivered a blow to present people in the United States. And WION correspondent Susan Teherani has sent us this report from New York. Let's take a look.
U.S. President Joe Biden on Thursday detailed plans to deploy military medical personnel to hospitals in 6 states. Hospitals across the United States have been pushed to the brink due to the surge in COVID cases, but also a shortage in staff and doctors as well as nurses. In some places more than others. These military medical personnel will arrive in hospitals next week in Ohio, here in New York, Rhode Island, Michigan, New Mexico, as well as New Jersey. The United States.
And normally, this another feedback. Those are all Democratic states. Once again, so 6 states. Why that number 4? Let's keep going.
This week saw the number of reported COVID-19 cases in hospitals breach its previous all-time peak of last winter. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court on Thursday blocked the Biden administration's COVID-19 vaccine or testing mandate for large private employers, appending the Biden administration's most aggressive effort to combat the coronavirus in the workplace. However, the High Court did give the administration more latitude in the healthcare industry, allowing it to impose vaccine mandates on some 10 million healthcare workers whose facilities participate in government-run Medicare and Medicaid programs. Susan Teherani reporting from New York for WION World is One.
More confusion. So now they want to send in the military. See how slick this devil is, man? So it's blocked, but he wants to send the military to these 6 states to help with medical. Now here's a funny thing about they failed to repeat the same story, because wasn't it a couple months ago they just laid off a whole bunch of people out of the hospitals here in New York? All right, that refused to get the thing, but now you need help from the military. You see the bigger plan, the things that they have in motion. So they think they're slick. So here it is. You fired a whole bunch of people that was there throughout the whole time, right? Then you just all of a sudden, the people that got the thing, the jump shot, if they get sick, they still have to come back to work, and now you're understaffed. I wonder where you got understaffed from, which they don't even talk about it no more. So now you bring in the military. Why would you bring in the military for? Because why are you bringing the U.S. military? Then they said the National Guard. They said the U.S. military in order to help these hospitals. This shit is, man. Esau think he's slick, but it's about to get interesting real soon. Let me see. Let's see. Nope, no good call. Well, no. It's like, and nobody sees it. Nobody sees it. So this country, as we know, is right down to the. It's not even the middle. It's broken to pieces. Okay. Ecclesiastes. I'm gonna make this short. I find this very intriguing to see that how they're setting it up perfectly. Reasonings to have the U.S. military in. Now, when Trump was in office, he already gave up his power to FEMA. So Biden's not running nothing, but they slowly bring in these things so that way they can really bring down the hammer. All right, Ecclesiastes 12 and 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong man shall bow themselves, and the grinding cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. The doors shall be shut in the streets, because, believe it or not, is alive over here, but is dying down, because the majority of people are getting sick. And now they're talking consistently about testing. So that's a new terminology. Everybody got to get tested. For what? You get tested and you're positive, and then what happens? There's no cure for this shit. That's it. But they're making these things a big deal because they want to shut this shit down. And they want to bring in the military. It says when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So right now the grinding is low because now a majority of people. I saw something else too. And was it 60 Minutes? Now majority of people quit their jobs. All right, quit their fucking jobs, and they was thinking about they even made a statement. I wish I had put the video there. They made a statement how after the extra benefits. They was waiting for people to go back to work, but people said nope, they're not going back to work. And then on top of all that, you put all the mandates. So all these things are doing what is really being done? That means all the things is set in motion. People losing their jobs, and now they're gonna find ways to replace those people that lost their jobs with most likely robots and so forth. But then the outbreak. The pandemic, that's going to be their excuse for shut shit down for real. All right? This is all what they're trying to do. It's right in people's face. And they call us conspiracy nuts. And look how simple this thing is. Second Ezra 15. Right to the point. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at 14. Woe to the world and to them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. When people shall stand up and fight another against another, and swords in their hands. And that's another thing. I just finished watching Brother Malcolm's video, and that's another thing. That's the buzzword, because it's not just that. You know, the brother's video is on Fox. It's on regular news. The new terminology is domestic terrorists. All right, they find any means necessary, anybody that goes against what they're doing. That's why they're slowly bringing in things, and this is slowly stirring up the pot. People losing their jobs left and right. People about to get evicted. There's a lot of things that's going on, and it's not coming to light. All right, because they really trying their best to hit this reset button, and they want the chaos. They want people go crazy, so they can find an excuse to bash people's head in. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men." And there's going to be great sedition. All right. People are getting fed up, especially the people that in the states that are blue and want it to be like the red states. People are fed up. All right. It's nothing but confusion. It's nothing but stress. And things are not going the way it is. So people are going to take power into their own hands, which that's the next verse. It says, "And invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall be stand in their power." Meaning they're going to take power into their own hands. And our brother had put it up a video too. I probably put it in the end or the beginning. How the U.S. military is exercising for quote unquote domestic terrorists, also against a government that is like somebody else take over the government. So they're prepping something. All right. Esau don't do things without a reason. Okay. He's prepping because he's setting things in motion. That's why they kept talking about January 6th. January 6th, January 6th, January 6th, January 6th. Because January 6th is just what they want to use in order to bring in a new order, to take the rights off from the people. That's why January 6th, I don't know how many times I said it, probably like 7 or 8 times. But that time in particular, when especially the fiasco that they try to make it like the next Pearl Harbor or next 9/11, I think only like 4 or 5 people died. But they're using this as a catalyst in order to bring in their troops. All right, to take the rights from the people. Out of all these countries, Australia, Austria, and mostly in Europe, they're resisting and so forth. But it's backwards. The people are resisting, and they don't even have that much rights. But here, where they have rights, there's not that much resistance. So what needs to happen? Certain things need to be taken away. The volume of the stress need to be amped up, turned up. Okay? And that's what's happening. People are going to take the power they're going to make their own decisions. They're going to say, fuck Biden, which they are saying already. They're going to F the local governments, because people are going to do what they need to be done. And he's going to tell you, he says, a man should desire to go into a city, it should not be able. Martial law. I just watched the movie Resident Evil, the new one. Of course, it's not that good. None of these movies are good today. However, it was based on the actual video game. And in the actual video game, the same thing happened. It was nothing but a massive quarantine. All right? They made sure nobody got out of that place. So it's not going to be a surprising thing, especially in the big cities, when it's spread like wildfire, for them to shut shit down. And what's going to happen when they shut things down? It's going to be a lack of bread. It says, "For because of the pride, the cities shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and man shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because the lack of bread, and for great tribulations." So the lack of bread is here. All right. Shelves around the U.S. is clearly showing emptiness. All right. People are starting to see it. Somebody, one of my relatives went to BJ's and told me that I need to stack up. I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't even know he went to BJ's. He said he went to BJ's and it was empty. It was like it was not that much stuff. So the shit is about to hit the fan. All right. So they already slowly bringing in the troops in for medical reasons. Then simultaneously, there's going to be a lack of bread. There's going to be a lack of a whole bunch of things, and people are just going to say enough is enough and take their own actions. And this is exactly what the Most High is, the seed that He planted. That's why America, out of all countries in the world, is the most violent place on the planet Earth. All right? Believe it or not. A lot of things will be covered. A lot of things people don't know. But we all about to find out how violent America is. Okay? That's why the scripture says, thus with violence that great city Babylon should be thrown out. It was born in a way of violence and is going to end by violence. Okay? And they're going to use whatever it takes to stress people out. Because tax season is coming up. People about to get evicted because the moratorium. There's going to be a lot of misery that's coming, man. Matter of fact, I'm going to end on that. 2 Ezra 8:50. It says, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell on the world, because they have walked in great pride. And that's another attribute of this, all of America, the pride, the sense of this, the sense of not even ownership, just the sense of pride. This is the most prideful place in the world, especially here in New York. Everybody has this pride mindset, and the commercials now is like New York tough and all this other. Well, see how tough you are. These people are folding like lawn chairs, all right? And it's gonna spread throughout the whole the divided states of America. But overall, the great miseries are here. Okay, the great miseries are here. They're gonna use whatever it takes. So with that being said, something real quick to the spirit. Shalom to the elect of the nations of Shalom.